Welcome back to Tales with Meaning, where we dive into stories that teach us powerful life lessons. Today's story will take you on a thrilling emotional ride, one where fear lurks in the shadows, only to reveal the hidden strength within. Imagine standing on the edge of your greatest fear, heart pounding, knees trembling, unsure if you'll make it through. How would you feel if the very thing you were afraid of became the key to your inner strength? This story follows a young woman named Elena who is forced to confront her deepest fears in an unexpected and chilling situation. What happens next will leave you questioning, is fear really the enemy or the path to something greater? Stay tuned to find out. Elena had always been the cautious type. While her friends would go on adventurous hikes and daring escapades, she stayed in her comfort zone, avoiding any activity that seemed too risky. It wasn't that she lacked confidence, she just had a fear of the unknown, especially when it came to heights. Her fear had developed as a child, after a terrifying incident on a family vacation. One summer, however, her best friend Sarah convinced her to take a weekend trip to the mountains. "It'll be fun," Sarah had said. "You'll love it. Plus, it's the perfect time to face that fear of heights." The thought made Elena's stomach churn. What if I panic? She wondered. Still, she didn't want to let her fears keep holding her back from living a full life. Reluctantly, she agreed, though she secretly hoped there wouldn't be any climbing involved. As they arrived at the picturesque mountain range, Elena couldn't deny the beauty of the towering peaks, the thick green forests, and the crisp, clean air. It was the kind of place where you felt at peace. But as they drove up the winding road, inching closer to the summit, her anxiety crept in. The steep drop-offs along the sides of the road made her palms sweat. "Are you sure this is safe?" Elena asked, her voice shaky, as the car rounded another sharp curve. "Completely safe," Sarah reassured her, though Elena wasn't so sure. Soon, they reached their destination, a cozy cabin perched high on the mountain, with a breathtaking view that seemed to stretch forever. Elena avoided looking too closely at the edge. That evening, Sarah pulled out a surprise. "I booked us for a ziplining adventure tomorrow," she exclaimed. Elena's heart sank. She could barely manage the car ride, and now Sarah expected her to soar through the air over a canyon. Panic set in. I can't do that," she stammered, fear flooding her senses. But Sarah wasn't one to give up. "You don't have to decide now. Sleep on it, and we'll talk in the morning," she said, giving Elena a reassuring pat on the shoulder. That night, Elena tossed and turned, her mind playing out all the terrifying scenarios that could unfold. She imagined the cable snapping, plummeting into the canyon below, her body helpless in the face of nature's unforgiving force. The fear was so real, it was suffocating. By dawn, she felt exhausted but determined. "Maybe," she thought, "this is my chance to finally face my fear." The morning came quickly, and before she knew it, Elena found herself standing at the zipline platform. The harness felt heavy around her waist, and the ground beneath her feet felt too solid, too safe. The instructors chatted with Sarah cheerfully, as if this were the easiest thing in the world. Elena's legs wobbled, and her palms were damp with sweat. "Are you ready?" the instructor asked, fastening the final clip to the cable. She wasn't, but something inside her told her that now was the time. Elena nodded, feeling like her voice had abandoned her. Sarah went first, shooting off across the canyon with a gleeful whoop. Elena watched her disappear into the tree line on the other side, heart pounding louder than ever. Now it was her turn. She stepped to the edge, her breath caught in her throat as she looked down. It was a long way down, a fall that could easily break her if anything went wrong. But as she stood there, the fear began to shift. She realized that the fear she felt was more than just about heights. It was the fear of letting go, of not being in control, of trusting something beyond herself. The more she resisted, the more trapped she felt, and suddenly, she knew what she had to do. With one deep breath, she stepped off the platform. The wind rushed against her face, and for a split second, her heart leapt in terror. But then something magical happened. The fear transformed. As she glided across the canyon, the world beneath her opened up into a panorama of beauty. The trees, the river, the sun glinting off the rocks, all of it was breathtaking. For the first time in her life, she felt weightless, not just physically, but emotionally. As she landed on the other side, her legs still shaky, Elena realized something important. Facing her fear hadn't diminished it, but it had given her power over it. In that moment of release, she discovered that fear didn't have to be her enemy. It could be her guide, pointing her to areas where she needed to grow. The rest of the trip was unforgettable. With each challenge, Elena found herself embracing the fear, and with each step, her inner strength grew. By the time they returned home, she no longer saw herself as the cautious girl who stayed behind. She had faced the edge and come back stronger. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey today at Tales with Meaning. Elena's story reminds us of a profound truth. Fear is not something we should avoid, but something we should face head-on. It's in the moments of deepest fear that we uncover the true strength within us. So, the next time you find yourself standing at the edge of your own fears, remember Elena and take that step. Who knows what beauty and strength await you on the other side? Thank you for watching, and if you found value in this story, please like, share, and subscribe to Tales with Meaning for more stories that inspire and uplift. Until next time, let's keep growing stronger by facing our fears together.